Welcome back, artists, to our color discussion. I want to go back and look at our color wheel that we made in our last meeting, and I want to talk about not just the colors themselves, but what these colors can do. Color is also a language, just like line is a language. Color is a language that people understand better. Color is what we consider a universal language. Everybody in the world understands color when they see it. Drawing, even though it's more basic, is a little harder for people to read, okay? Now, last week we found out that there are 3 basic colors in the world, and that was red, yellow, and blue. And we named those colors primary because they're the first colors. Then we found out if we took red and yellow and added them together, we get orange. If we take yellow and blue and add it together, we get green. And if we take blue and red and add them together, we get violet. Those colors have a name as well, and they are called secondary, because they are the second colors that you see on the color wheel. We also explored with tertiary. How do you make neutral colors? When you are mixing opposite colors together, you will find the more you do this with paint and with crayons and with colored pencils and with markers, that, or even acrylics, that you will, when you mix those opposite colors together, either get a brown or a gray. Sometimes with our watercolors, we end up getting a gray color rather than a brown color. And the reason for that is this. It means that one of our primaries or our secondary, one of the colors that we mixed together was not a true primary or secondary. If the color was a little bit tinted, if it was a little bit shaded, white or black added to those colors, then the color that results is more of a gray than it is a brown. Oh, so much information. Are you ready for more? Okay. Today, I've already lost my piece of paper, my marker paper. Today, we are going to learn some of the things that color can do. For instance, if you make a painting, and that painting is mostly a painting that includes opposite colors, violet and yellow, orange and blue, red and green, that picture will be exciting to look at. You might not even notice that it's exciting. You may not even be thinking that you're excited, but you will feel a certain excitement. Trust me. I'll prove it. Are you ready for this one? I want you to think for just a second. What is your most favorite holiday of the year? I expect most of you said Christmas, right? Yeah, that's a fun time, isn't it? For so many reasons. But when you think of Christmas, what two colors do you think of? Was it red and green? Probably. There's a reason for that. Advertisers. The people who make the advertisements to sell the toys, to sell the clothes, to sell the pots and pans. Advertisers, during the holidays, which is when they sell more of anything than any other time, use red and green in their advertisements all the time. On purpose. Because when you walk in or you look at an advertisement or you walk into a store and you see lots of red and green, Oh, you're already feeling excited, even if you're not sure why. Isn't that amazing? Here's another proven study. Are you ready for this one? So, how many of you love Easter, the spring holiday? And my most favorite thing about the spring holiday is my chocolate bunny. Now, some of you have heard me say that before. I love my chocolate bunny. And the first thing I do is bite off his ears, right? Now, when I think of Easter, I almost always think of the color violet or purple and yellow. And here is a test that they did. This was an actual study that they did, advertisers did. And they found out this, class. It's very interesting. If you have a row of bunnies on the shelf in packages, and those packages are purple or violet and yellow, and right next to them, you have a package of blue and pink bunnies. Do you know which ones sell out first? It's true. It's the purple and yellow. Opposite colors make you excited. I want to show you a painting. This painting is by Vincent van Gogh, and we did a lot of we looked at a lot of his drawings a couple of weeks ago. This is one of his paintings. It's a very special painting. It's a painting of a chair. But when you know the story of Vincent van Gogh, you realize just how important this chair is. This chair was a chair that he bought for a friend of his that he was going to come and stay with him. Now, in this picture, it is painted almost entirely with red and green. Now, the red is a little bit muted. Part of the reason is because of my picture in my book. It's an old book with an old picture, and the colors weren't really true. But in this painting, you have a red chair, basically, in a green room with mostly red and green tiles on the floor. This is a very excited painting. Vincent was so excited that his friend was coming to visit. And even without putting his friend in there, even without writing, "I'm so excited," we know that this is an excited painting just by looking at his color. Exciting. You can also make a quiet painting. Now, we found out that when you're doing lines, if you use vertical lines and horizontal lines, your picture will be calm and quiet. Well, you can reinforce that idea by using color that's going to be quiet. And here's how that works. In order to make an exciting painting, we used opposite colors. We can use any of the opposite colors, and that's going to make our picture exciting. But if we want to make a calm, quiet picture, we're going to use colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. For instance, do you see how green, yellow, and orange are next to each other on the color wheel? Or do you see how red, orange, and yellow are next to each other on the color wheel? Or do you see how violet, red, and orange are next to each other on the color wheel? And we can go right around the color wheel, and we can do that with all these colors in the color wheel. Whenever there is a color that is next to another color, and you use mostly those colors that are next to each other in a painting, you end up making a quiet painting. Isn't that incredible? Let's look at Vincent's paintings again. It's another chair. This chair is Vincent's chair. It's the chair he always sat in. Vincent's chair is made out of green, yellow, and orange. Green, yellow, orange are all next to each other on the color wheel. The background is orange, red, and yellow. Orange, red, and yellow. And check this out. We have two kinds of blue and green with yellow next to each other in the back of that picture. Green, yellow, blue. All these colors are next to each other on the color wheel. And the way that he's arranged them so that here at the top of the picture, we have the greens and the yellows and the blues together. Here at the bottom of the pictures, we have the yellows and the reds and the oranges together. That makes this a quiet painting. When you look at it, you're just going to feel more calm, as opposed to when you look at this picture and you feel very excited. Opposite colors have a name. When you have opposite colors and you're using them in a painting, they are called complementary. Whenever you use complementary colors together, the opposite colors together, you're going to make an exciting picture. Now, whenever you use analogous colors, and that's what we call colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, analogous colors, your picture will be quiet. Color speaks, and how you put your colors together make a difference in your picture. Vincent van Gogh did this all the time in his paintings. He was thinking about how he was feeling as he used his beautiful bright colors to paint his picture. And really, class, even though these colors are very, very bright, and most of Vincent's paintings are very bright, even though the colors are very bright, the way he has arranged these colors in his pictures has made this color very quiet. Same thing with the other chair. The way he has arranged these colors in the picture has made his painting very exciting. So you can make quiet pictures. You can make exciting pictures. Just in how you arrange your pictures, your colors when you paint your picture. But that's not all you can do with color, because colors have another factor. Not only can they be exciting or calm, there's something else they can be. They can be cool, or they can be warm. Now, if we divide our color wheel up in a different way, we can show cool colors. Any picture that is mainly made out of violet, blue, green becomes a quiet picture. Let's see if I've got one right here. I think I've got one right here. Oh yeah. Now this painting that I'm going to show you is by a very famous artist whose name is Claude Monet. And this painting is a picture of his wife with his son behind her. And you see, even though we can tell it's a windy day, because if we look at our lines, they are curvilinear. It's not so windy that our parasol's being blown away, but it's a little bit windy. And look at the bright light. Ah, but the color is very cool. We know it's not 480 degrees out there, even though it's a bright day, because look at the cool blues. Look at the cool greens. Look at the yellows reflected in her blue dress. This is an example of a painting painted with cool colors. Now I want to show you one with warm colors. This is a painting by another famous artist. Her name is Georgia O'Keeffe. Now when Georgia O'Keeffe painted, she liked to paint flowers. And she painted, one of the things she liked to paint was flowers. And she painted those flowers so big, they filled the entire picture plane and you couldn't even see the edges. No branches, no leaves, no stems, just the flower itself. Now when you look at this flower, holy moly, it is so warm. Does it feel fiery? It is made of oranges and reds and yellows. Oh, there is a little bit of purple in there, but not enough to take away from the heat in her colors. This is an example of a warm picture, warm color. A lot to think about with color, isn't there? Not only can a painting make you excited or make you feel quiet, a painting can also make you feel cool or hot. Isn't that great? All in how you arrange colors. It's not just a matter of putting color on your paper. You have to be a thinking artist. You have to think about what it is you want to say to the person who is looking at your painting. So we've learned two more things about color. We know how to make color now. We know which colors are most important. We also know how to make those colors excited or how to make those colors calm. Today, I want to challenge you. And I want to challenge you two different ways. First, I would like to challenge you to do a color picture for me. Now, again, you can use your crayons, you can use your colored pencils, you can use your markers. I love markers for this because the colors come out really strong. I also love my crayons. You can use oil pastel, you can even use watercolor if you have those things. But I want you to make me a picture. It doesn't have to be a whole page. In fact, remember how when we were drawing lines, we folded our regular size paper in half. You can fold it in half. You could even fold it in half again. It does not need to be a large picture. But I would like you to make me a very excited picture. Or a very quiet one. Now you got to think about it. How are you going to make those colors excited? Remember, to make them excited, you're going to use complementary colors. Colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. Make me an excited picture or a quiet picture. And then I want you to do one more, because I want to challenge you again. I want to challenge you in two ways. I would like you to either make me a warm picture or a cool picture. If you're going to make a warm picture, you have to use warm colors. And the warm colors on the color wheel are reds, oranges, and yellows. Think about the sun. Think about the red flowers in the garden. Think about that orange house in the background. Or maybe it's the orange hills with the red flowers, with the yellow sun. Could you even make your sky yellow and your sun orange? Boy, that would feel hot, wouldn't it? Yeah, think about that. Or you can paint me a cool picture. In order to do that, you're going to use the colors on the color wheel. Violet, blue, green. Oh, think about the ocean. Think about the fish. Think about the fish swimming around in their beautiful, cool sea. It would be an easy job to make an underwater, cool ocean picture, wouldn't it? Because there, mostly what you see are the blues and the greens and the violet shadows. How many of you noticed that I didn't talk about all those browns we made last time? Remember how, here we were using opposite colors again, weren't we? We were mixing opposite colors together to make our browns, our tertiaries. We didn't talk about tertiaries today because today we're talking about feelings. And if you noticed, when we made brown, we neutralize those feelings. Browns don't have hardly any feelings in them at all. Likewise, black, which isn't even a color. It's the combination of all colors. Black doesn't have any feelings in it. White doesn't have any feelings either. It's no color at all. So today, when you go to make your first picture, a sunny, warm picture, is it okay to have brown tree trunks in it? Sure it is, because brown tree trunks will not affect your color. Well, wait a minute. What if you want to do a nice, cool picture? The ocean. Is it okay to have a black killer whale in there? Of course. He's not going to change the feeling of the color at all, because black isn't even considered a color. Remember, it's a shade. It's all the colors together. And so it doesn't have any feeling as a color. So you've got your grays and your blacks and your whites and your browns, and you can add those to your picture all you want, and it's not going to change the feeling of your picture. What if you were doing a holiday picture with reds and greens and lots of lights, and you put some black wires in there? Would the black wires connecting your red and green lights change the excitement in your picture? No. What if you were doing a quiet picture? A quiet picture of a chair, and you wanted to make the chair legs brown. If you had your greens and your yellows and your oranges, holy moly, do those three colors look quiet? They're next to each other on the color wheel, so they will be. But if you take those three colors and you make your chair, and then you add a black or brown seat to it, or a black or brown outline, have you made it more exciting to look at? No. It's still a quiet picture, because the browns, the blacks, the whites, the grays do not have color feelings. Isn't that interesting? It's a lot to know about color. See what we're going to do with it next week. Today, I think that's enough information to keep you thinking. And don't forget, 2 little pictures for me. They don't have to be large, but I would like them to tell color stories. First, I want either an exciting or a calm color story. And then I would either like a warm color story or a cool color story. You get to choose. All right? See you next time.